So we're halfway through the year, which is crazy. I feel like we literally just wrote our New Year's resolutions. So I think this is a really pivotal month going into Summit. Next month is great. It's Summit. We're going to have lots of new announcements and all that. We know, the surge from Summit, but this month is really crucial to make sure you're at your goals for Summit. So whenever you're ready, take away Brooke. And this is super informal. If anyone has any questions, feel free to jump on in. I'm going to mute myself.
Yeah. So thank you for that, Katie. And if you have a pen and paper handy, you might want to, take a few notes. So I was actually kind of inspired to do like a call on like getting our mojo back, just kind of for selfish reasons. Like me personally, May, I had a hard month. I had like things going on with my personal life. And I mean, I'm going to be honest with you, I pretty much did not work the business other than like kind of checking into the back office, but for like 2 whole weeks. And, it doesn't sound like a lot, but in this business, it is. Like, if you skip 2 weeks of working, like, you got to, like, totally, like, kick some ass to get back on track. So this is selfish for me, but also it kind of felt like within the whole team, like, we all kind of needed, like, we were struggling that month, and we all kind of needed a push. So I was kind of inspired to do just like Brooke's 10 tips on getting your mojo back. So I kind of pulled out like some of my favorite things to do and some of the things I think will really get us on track. But I think if we, kind of commit and do these 10 things, then I not just think, I know we will get some momentum going at the end of the month. So I'm going to share my screen because I did put together some slides. And okay, so hopefully you can see my slides. Okay, good. So again, just my 10 tips. So it's halftime. We're halfway through the year. I don't know where you are with your goals, but, it doesn't matter if you're, on track, if you're a little behind, let's just all really commit to pushing this last half of the year and just really finish stronger than our first. There's a lot of months that are strong at the very end of the year as far as income. So I think we can do it, but we just really need to kind of commit to doing some of these things, or all of them, honestly. So the first one I got to put up there, but I'm not going to go into it too much, but live the vitals. And I was kind of thinking in the car while I was riding today, maybe I could tell them like one we really need to focus on more than the other. So I was like, maybe I should tell them we need to do more inviting. But honestly, like when I started thinking about if I had to pick one to tell this group that they, was the most important, for me right now, personal development is it. That's the most important one for me. It helps me press play. It helps me, do everything. So, that's kind of where I am right now in my life. I don't know. You might have one that is more important to you. They're all important, but I don't know. Right now, that one's kind of like calling, my name. So, do the vitals. Pretty simple. Number 2, I'll be the first to admit that I am like not strong at this at all, but, tracking is important. And, Katie's really good at this. I know she's got another tracker that she likes to use. This one I got from the back office. It's under training. There's tons of like tools there. Hopefully, I think we're all probably explored the back office a bit by now. But for any newer coaches watching this video, I encourage you to look around. And this is one of the tools there. I know Katie in the past has tried to get us. I'm sorry, the Predators are starting their game right now, so my phone keeps dinging. But I know Katie's tried to get us in the past to start like adding our trackers like on Friday to show that we've all done it, and I haven't done it because I don't do these stupid things, but I need to. Gosh, I need to. I got to do this to get the momentum going again. So I'm committing in the month of June to filling out one of these trackers every day. And I'm talking about from today on, because I didn't do it the first 3 days, or I don't know what day of the week it is. So the first 3 or 4 days of the month. So if anyone wants to join me, maybe we can do that together as the tracker. But oh, so if you don't like mine or Katie's, there's tons. If you just Google Beachbody Coach trackers, there's tons you can pick. One that kind of fits your needs, or Team Z, of course, is a good option. Commit to a program. I can't emphasize like how important this is, because I'm going to be honest with you. I have been a coach for almost 2 years, and if I had to tell you, I will tell you, how many programs that I've done from beginning to end and done the nutrition. It's been one program, and it's hurting me. My peers that have started at the same time I had are moving up faster than I am because they're doing this and I'm not. And it's not a competition, but it's working. It works. It's proven to get you results. And so I've committed for the month of June to do quarter force. So, just pick something. You might already be in one. I know Katie's in Shift Shop. I'm not sure what everyone else is in right now, but, pick something if you haven't already. And if when you're doing that, you'll always have something to post about. And even if people are not liking your post or commenting, they're still watching. I promise you they're watching. So, it's going to make a difference in your business. And there's some, I hope everyone is planning on getting going with Ship Shop on July 17th. I know it officially launches on the 13th, but we're going to be at Summit, so I'm planning on starting it on the 17th. And I plan to have a challenge group I want to do a program exclusive challenge group for that starting the 17th, because I think this is going to be a big deal. I really do, and Katie has way more insight on this, but we're seeing her get results. But the reason why I think this is going to be a big deal is because of Chris. He makes the program. He's so awesome. And if you didn't get a chance to hop on his, hey Maggie, if you didn't get a chance to hop on his call from last night, I really encourage you to do so. For me, I hadn't heard his story, just the YouTube one about his uncle, but I hadn't heard his story. So I really encourage, and I'd be happy to post that in Team Fly if anyone hasn't caught that from last night. But so pick a program, commit, do it from start to finish. It works. I haven't been doing it, and it hasn't been working. So it was time for a change, and I'm glad I did it. I needed it. So tip number 4, free group. This is another area I have totally been slacking in. I used to do one about every other month, but it's been a while. So I want to pick a free group and do one this month. So there's Sean Week coming up. You could get people on board with the 15 days free of Beachbody On Demand and do a Sean Week group. It's coming up right around the corner, so you'd have to get moving like right now on that. I put threw some other ideas up there. Try to think a little bit beyond just clean eating group. So many people are doing those, and it's kind of getting a little bit overused, and so I don't think it's getting as much activity. But you could still do clean eating, but put your spin on it that fits like your life, your brand. Like for me, I'm a mom of 3 little girls. Maybe I did a week's worth of kid-friendly healthy dinners, or something like that would draw like your people in. So just try to make it unique and for you, that fits your personality and your brand. So yes, let's all try to commit to getting in a free group. And I want to hear, like, we can bounce around ideas, like what everyone's thinking on as you're deciding on this kind of thing. Okay, birthday messages. We've got a lot of veterans on the call tonight, but for anyone watching this, or if you don't know the way I do it, I don't know if it's the way everyone that does their birthday messages, but I don't send them to people on the day of their birthday. I send them so like for today, I would be sending like yesterday's birthday, or if I happen to miss, I would be sending like the past 2 days' birthdays, and I send them a message, in their inbox. And, I say something like I put here, and I try to, and I love doing this. This is like one of my favorite things to do because there's no pressure to talk about Beachbody. Like, in fact, how rude would that be? Happy birthday, would you buy something for me? So like, you're actually, you get to leave off the whole, like, you would never say that, but you get to leave off the whole Beachbody thing and truly just like take an interest in like making someone feel good. And like, how awesome does that feel, to reach out to someone? And I send this to everyone. I mean, obviously, like, I have friends I don't know, and so do you. They still get a birthday message from me. I don't care. Like, everybody, gets a birthday message from me that says something like this. And the goal is, hopefully, by asking a question, they'll reply back and you can keep the dialogue going. Like, always try to think of a question you can ask to keep the dialogue going. And this system is going to, like, as you know, bump you up in their Facebook feeds. And so they're going to start to see more of you. And as time goes on, this is something this is going to help your business. So I love, love, love doing birthday messages. Tip number 6, posting 3 to 5 times a day. And I'm talking about specifically Facebook just because that is kind of where I do most of my business right now. So I won't read these to you, but and just to add a couple of thoughts, when I say start thinking about starting to create your brand, I think that alone could be a whole nother call. But just, think about things like, yes, we all like fitness. Yes, we all like nutrition. But like, what are some other things outside of that makes you different from other Beachbody coaches? What are some things that the old you did? What are, some people that you can reach? What are your interests? So try to think about things that make you different as a Beachbody coach and try to start creating your brand and do that in your post. And post, think of posts that will create engagement. So like, for example, I don't do this like every day, but like once a week would be fine. Like the one I mentioned about the recipe, for me, that always gets tons of engagement. So what I did the other day, I got so many comments, and every time I do this, but I made just like I ended up calling it crustless quiche, but just threw together like some ingredients and took a picture. And I was like, oh, I'm eating this week, whatever. If you want the recipe, just give me a thumbs up below. And so everybody that gives you a thumbs up, then reply back, oh, great, it's coming your way right now. And then you just copy and paste the recipe. Hi, how are you doing, Sue? Here's the recipe. Let me know how it turns out. And you copy and paste that to everyone. And but each time someone raises their hand, yes, I want it, or you reply back, it just keeps bumping your post up over and over and over, and you're going to get so much engagement. So I love the recipe one, but anything like that, or people love to give advice. So like I threw an example of like dry shampoo. I think everyone's asked about that, so you might not want to do that one, but anything where people can give advice, they love to do. So just think of posts that would create engagement and try to do something like that once a week. So I put on here, say no to stock photos, which, we know. So yeah, I mean, it's a little tricky right now with Shift Shop and wanting to talk about that and not having really any content. But do, like Katie says, you can use her pics or Nikki's or anyone really in that group. You can use those, but try to stay away from stock photos as much as you can. I mean, really, pretty much you shouldn't be using them at all. And one thing I wanted to add to that is I also recommend like staying away from too many of those quotes. There's some good ones out there, but I wouldn't dive into like too many of just like the pictures of the quotes. Now, one thing that I think is cool and does get some engagement is if you find like a really awesome quote and you can put a picture of yourself or yourself working and the quote at the bottom or something like that. Now that I would recommend, that would be a good post. But not like, don't go crazy with like 10 pics of like those quotes. So that, and then one other thing I wanted to say, this is from, just a thought I have for my personality is I struggle with reading posts I don't even care even if it's like Melanie Mitro. I struggle with reading like a post that's like 18 paragraphs long. So I try to keep that in mind since I struggle with reading those, to not do too many of those. Now, I'm not saying never, because it's important to share your story and dig deep a little bit. And sometimes digging deep like that does require, getting a little more in depth. But like, I like to, once I've got one that's kind of like, oh, this is a little deep, so it's a little bit longer, I'll look at it and I'm like, maybe I can take out the word that there. Or I can, I will just think of things that I can whittle it down just to make it more visually appealing to people like me who get scared from long posts. So that's just a thought. Like, try to, like, if you can, whittle your posts down a little bit if they're a lengthy one. Tip number 7, hang out with the best. So you guys are all here, so preaching to the choir, but why would you not want to surround yourself by people that want the same thing that you want? And I will say, like, for me, this like really hits home because, especially like as a new coach, there were days that I was literally hanging by a thread on if I was going to continue forward or not. Like, now I know there's no way I'm going to give up, but early on I was, there were days, literally a thread. And this was the only thing that kept me going, would be to hop on a team call and see friendly faces of people that have become my friends. And even though I didn't want to get on, I still just got on. And by the end of it, I was like, oh, okay, I'm ready to do some work again. So I can't stress the importance of like being involved into the team, because it has been a huge factor in my business. I know when I first got started, and now we're getting back there was like a call like literally every night of the week if you wanted to hop on one. And I actually like that because I do well with those. So I guess at times it could get to where it seems a little overwhelming, but because now we get the bombshell call after this. So hopefully everyone's going to hop on that. And we've got the positive calls, but that's not every Tuesday. But, you always want to be like with your team call, your main team. So that, it's not just that though, but like being at events and summit and, so just really getting dialed into the team, I think is so, so important. Okay, so another way we're going to get our mojo back this month is by making our boards. I don't know what you call this, like, other than like, it's not a vision board, it's just like our monthly goals board, dry erase, whatever. So make your board. I made mine today, and I had to leave a little scribble zone for Maggie, as you can see, or I knew it was going to be destroyed, so I made my board. But one thing I want to encourage as you're thinking about your goals to put on your board is to push a little bit, just a little bit past your comfort zone. Like, consider doing that. Like, for me, I'm more of a Success Club 6 kind of girl. Unfortunately, I want to change that. But if I set myself a goal of Success Club 10, even if I fail, maybe I'll hit 8. But if I just set myself a goal of Success Club 6, I know I'm just going to hit 6 and I'm going to stop there, and that's probably going to be as far as I ever get. So I'm not saying make your goals unattainable by any means, but do consider like making your goals like a little bit, just a little out of your comfort zone. So here's some of my goals. I guess you can see, pretty straightforward. So we will move on for tip 9, affirmations. And I was inspired to add this after last night's call with Chris, because once you go back and hear this, you're gonna be floored when you hear this call and like what he went through and his story, and how he got to the place he actually got to, a very low place where suicidal thoughts are in his mind. There's nothing lower than that. So he, I don't want to give away his story because I want you guys to all, if you haven't watched it already, but to go back and watch his story. You're not going to believe all this, but he called it writing a letter to himself. to the me in 2016. And he wrote a letter to himself, and some of the things that he, I am going to be picked up by a big company. I am, and all these things that he wanted, and he read it every day, and they happen. Like, a lot of them happen. So there's some serious power behind affirmations. After hearing that, I picked back up my Ogmandino, The Greatest Salesman in the World. I'm like, I got to get back in this affirmations thing. So this is a really cool book that's got like some paragraphs of affirmations, but there's affirmations apps. You can make it simple. So one thing I did, like, this was literally after hearing his story last night. I'm like, oh, I'm back. I'm on this affirmations thing. So I just pick three things that can be your affirmations that, and I'm not a Star Diamond coach, but if I keep saying it, I'm going to be, these are things that I want to strive to be better at, that I will be better at. And I'm going to say it every time I walk in my office and I walk by this. I'm going to say it out loud. Like, it takes 2 seconds. So, if you want to put it on your board, put your just 3 affirmations. If you need help, coming up with some, like I said, there's apps and you can Google them and get some ideas. But these are some things that hit home with me that I really, really want to strive to be the best at in all aspects of my life. So, yes, watch that call with Chris. I mean, it's really amazing how his affirmations happened. So tip number 10, moving right along on how we're going to be getting our mojo back. Okay. Are the Kardashians still a show? That's not a real show still. Like, they're still on. Okay. Well, I put them on there. So cut some crap out of your life. Like, if you watch too much reality TV, I mean, so for this month, and this is the month we're saying, you're on this call, so I'm guessing you want to get your mojo back with me. So can we cut out reality TV this month? What can you cut out? Can you cut out Diet Pepsi? Can you cut out scrolling your Facebook? Like, can we all try to pick something that we do? Maybe I do need to figure out the way where you can stop scrolling your Facebook, because I'm guilty of that. I waste so much time with that. I didn't know the Kardashians were still on TV, so I'm not guilty of that one. But if you are, like, come on, like, we can cut that out for a little bit. And if there's comments, I'm sorry, I'll read them all in a second. What's some things you can cut out? Let's commit to, this month, cutting some things out, and cut the crap and put in the good. And each day, each night, when you go to bed, when you lay down to go to bed, like right before you go to sleep, if you could just say to yourself, did I win the day? And if the answer is yes, then, boom, like, get up and do it again the next day. If the answer is no, then get up and work that much harder to make the answer yes the next day. So these are some of the tips that I have. And I truly believe with all of my heart, if we're doing these things, then when June 30th rolls around, we are going to have some momentum in our business. Now, I don't know if you'll be at Success Club 10 or whatever, but because I'm so far behind right now since I stopped working it, I've got to work that much harder just to get the momentum going. But I know that if I do this, I'm going to have momentum. And once you get momentum, I heard Josh Coates say this in his training, and it's always stuck with me, and I love it, but protect momentum at all cost. So once you get that going, you don't want to lose it, because you're going to be back where I was, and not a good place. So once you get it going, we got to keep it going. So we'll focus on that in July, but let's just get that momentum going right now for June. And I'm going to stop my screen and see if there's some chat going on or any questions. Open the floor for questions. I'm sorry I didn't read the message chat. Yeah, that's a good tracker.
That was about the birthday message, the perfect one.
Okay. Yeah. Sneak peek is coming out in 2 weeks. So that would be a good day to do a video. Yeah.
Yeah, Shift Shop sneak peek is next week. I can actually, they just told us yesterday that we can do live workouts with our team now. So if you guys ever want to do one, we can schedule a time. I was thinking maybe instead of a team call next week or something, we could do I could share my screen. My thing's working now, so like you can hear it. And we could do Shift Shop or something like that. But yeah, it's super. So anyway, so that was a great call, Brooke. Thank you. You literally hit every nail on the head. There's no like secret sauce or anything, but I think one of the ones that you hit on that's not on most of them was the affirmations. That gets so easily like put to the side, and those thoughts. And yeah, Chris's video last night or call was epic. And honestly, when I was listening to it, I was like almost not believing him in a way that I was like, how did he literally write that letter and then make it happen? Literally, he wrote a letter and the things came true, and he read it every day and believed in it. And I mean, he was deep in it. And then I was thinking back to when I was reading The Secret, and I read The Secret for maybe monthly. And like these things would happen, and then I'm like, okay, I need like this much money to make this bill and blah, blah, and then you get the check in the mail, and it literally happens. And so same with saying those affirmations, like, okay, 10 minutes. So like, I am a star diamond, or I am an elite coach, or I am a leader, even though you are a leader already. You know, things that you want to see yourself as is so important. And like, there's not a person who is, you know, famous and worthy of their awesomeness that does not believe that, in my opinion. I think there are a lot, like, if you do some YouTube searching, like Will Smith, Oprah, like all those type of people that I like super admire are all into that. And to put on your dream board. And actually I made a to-do list because of you today for the things that I had to do from now on for the rest of the night. And one of them was to do my June board. And I've definitely gotten away from that. I don't know why, because I think some of it was so similar to every month, but that is huge because we were talking in the Diamond team, the Diamond group today about where everyone's at. And for me, one of the biggest things was goals. Like I feel like we're not really talking about goals right now. And like Diamond, you know, is a thing, but is it? Like, what else can we talk about? Are we making Diamond as big of a deal for our downline as it should be? Or are we making it too big of a deal? Like, so I think that's a good thing that you put on there for, you know, where you want to be in your personal business and see yourself and knowing your goals. Does anyone have any questions for Brooke or anything?
I tried to, I didn't know that we weren't definitely allowed to do the group workouts on like Zoom. So I tried to host one with UV2. I only had one other person hop on and she had technical difficulties. So I just did it myself and I recorded it. And then I like post it in the group. I'm like, okay, well, no one can hop on, but here's me. And I got like a little copyright slap from YouTube for doing that. So don't record the Zoom call.
Well, the only reason it's for that one was because of the music on it.
Oh, okay.
Because those are like actual songs.
Okay.
If you had done any of the other workout programs, you can definitely do that.
Oh, okay.
It's just that those songs are like actual pay money for copyright songs.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't see this chat here. I think we can. Oh, right. Yeah, no, this one, this one specifically for Shift Shop, they just weren't letting us even like show anyone. And I'm like, they didn't even want like people's partners that lived with them to do it with them. And I'm like, what? Give me a break. It's like, but so now we're allowed to show anyone. So, except like the public, but, what else? So the Beachbody sales going on, definitely talk to some of your people about that. I would, kind of like pinpoint, don't just share the graphic because that makes no sense to people. Talk to them about it, you know, say, talk about your top 3 favorite things. That jump mat that's on sale, it's like $20. It's my favorite. I use it every single day. It's my favorite thing ever. That portion fix thing that we were talking about, and then one of those grab bags. Those are like the greatest deals ever. So maybe talk about a couple things and see how that goes. But let me open my notes here because I didn't have them up. So
And I can list again like my 10 highlights that I went over. So like if you're like, I wanted to like make sure I'm doing all those, but I don't want to go back through the whole video, then I'll like maybe post like my 10.
Yeah, that would be great. And this call is recorded, so I'll post it after the bombshell call. But I think, especially when we're talking to newer coaches, like everyone on here is a veteran right now, but when you're talking to a new coach and they see this list of things to do, and then we throw them in a training group, and then we tell them to get on 12 team calls, like it is overwhelming, but we all did it. Some people are wanting to simplify things for people, and I do agree to that to a point, but maybe pick your top 3 things that you need to have every person do, and you need to know your people that we're talking to and how to help them along this list of 10 things. Because if someone shows you that list of 10 things, that could take like 4 hours a day if you count your workout and making your shake and reading your PD and doing all that's my whole flipping day. But to make it, not once you get in a system, like affirmations take 1 second that you can do while you're driving. Like it doesn't have to be, there's this awesome thing from The Office. I don't know if you guys watch that, where one of the guys, the HR guys, tells everyone when to take breaks. Like, okay, you need to take a break from typing for, every 10 minutes on the hour. And then you need to stretch your legs 10 minutes every 10 minutes hour. But they did it for the whole day instead of like condensing it all into 1 10-minute break. So it's kind of like that. If that makes, I think Heather's the only one that's got me on that one. Thank you. I don't know how to explain it any better, but you got to figure out how to put things together. Figure out how to do your PD. I don't know what else to say. Do it in the car, do it at work, do it in the bathroom. I'm on my note right here for my nighttime thing. It says shower while listening to the bombshell call. I don't need to see Lindsay's face. I know how gorgeous she is. If there are slides, I can see them afterwards, but I will at least get something out of it instead of sitting in there listening to Pandora. Obviously we're all on the team call and we make that happen. It's the other stuff, can you, when about your workout, it just is a matter of how important it is to you and to hit those goals. So to find time in your day to do all 10 of those things, I don't think there was one on there that can skip. And it depends on your goals for sure. Honestly, with this shift shop, it's been taking a lot of me personally focusing on myself, which is different than what I'm used to focusing on is other people. So I have to kind of schedule my time differently. But, I think that we all have it in us to reach our goals. And I don't know, I want to see big things for Summit. So I know, July's awesome. So just make June as best as you can, knowing that the momentum from June makes July awesome. It just doesn't come awesome because you go to Summit. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, I went to an event and now, I had my biggest month ever. I've always had my biggest week ever the week after Summit. But because I did the right things leading up to it by talking about it. So even if you're not going to Summit, I don't know who's going on this call. I know we have 1 minute left, but you can still talk about it. I remember the first year I didn't go. I signed up in May or something, and they went in July, and I didn't even know I knew nothing. So I didn't go. It was in Vegas, and I just remember talking about Nikki going and seeing her there and being like, oh my God, this looks so much fun. I know I missed this opportunity, and you can't go to every trip. There are so many, we're not going to be able to go to every trip, but talk about it as if you were there, or what differences in your life going to be that you can go to the trips that you want to, or what other people are learning or takeaways or prepping for, just the way that you can talk about shift shop coming up. It's not you doing the program right now, but you can talk about things coming up. The markers go on sale next week. You can I don't know how much they're going to be yet. You can do a giveaway for those, for people that, pre-order or something like that. So there are plenty of ways to do it. But there are also plenty of ways to, exactly what you said, Brooke, sit on your butt and watch the Kardashians. My thing when I don't like working the business is I clean my house. So I say I either have a clean house or a running business. I don't have both of them. And right now, frankly, I have a clean house. So that should say something. So, whatever your thing is of wasting time.
You have the clean house, Katie. I'll do that. Just give it up.
I can't. I'm so bad. I know. Every time Maggie comes over, I'm like, my house is a disaster. And she's like, stop it. But I have issues. All right, cool. So does anyone have anything else? I know you I don't want to move the call to 8 o'clock because I feel like that's like too early for all of us that have kids, and you guys are in different time zones and kids that are going to bed and stuff. So I'm going to keep it at 8:15, and then you just run and pee and hop on the next call. And I think it's good momentum. I'm psyched. When she said that she was bringing those back, we all voted on it in the Diamonds group. And are you guys in the Bombshell Diamonds group, Brooke and Sam?
Yes, you're about to be cut off.
Okay. If not, message me and I can put you in it. But she did a vote in there for it. So it's I think it'll make a big difference in our team. Because remember how good they were? Oh, they were so fabulous. It like set the week. Not that this doesn't, but I think it's like epicness from her. So, all right, guys, thank you so much. Thanks again, Brooke. That was obviously epic, and I expected no less. So you really know how to crush it and lead a team. So thank you so much, guys, and we'll see you on the Bombshell call.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.